How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you my review of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And before I go any further, please do not forget, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this. You know, I contemplated doing this tomorrow, which tomorrow will be Friday, technically, which is today. And this is going up on Friday because I'm watching it a second time. This is the end of Phase 4. It's one of the biggest movies that people, mostly my people, and my fellow brown brothers and sisters, and those who fit in between and outside of those parameters, want to see. So, does this movie deliver? Oh, yes, it does. My new Black Panther shirt. Rest in power, Chadwick Boseman. So many things to talk about. So how about I run down the basic stuff, and then I'm going to get into the meat. Basic stuff is the music is fantastic. I'm saying when we're in Wakanda, it's great. When we're in the States, it's great. Like Virginia twice, some other Washington, D.C., and Wakanda, you know, that stuff is great. The Dora Milaje theme is amazing. The Jabari tribe stuff is amazing. When we get to Tolakan with Namor, I'm just gonna call him Namor, but Namor's people, we get all of that stuff is done very well. Flashbacks are done so well. Cinematography is great. You know, you get moments where you're like, man, this is so dark. And actually, I remember thinking in the original Black Panther, the scene when he shows up to get Nakia and, you know, I never freeze goes down, that was super dark. When shots look dark in here, they actually are, and it looks so great. The action scenes are done well. You know, when Namor flies and it's like he's jumping, like he's doing a Marvel vs. Capcom double jump, that's such a good detail. So much just meat and bones on those details. I could just eat it all up. So that's the basic stuff. That stuff is good. Let's talk about, first of all, spoilers. This stupid picture here is a spoiler. Hey, just want to say something. If you have a YouTube page and you actually care about it, don't record scenes from a movie in the theater on your phone, because this is going to be taken down sooner or later. Just anyway, let's talk about, remember, this is spoilers. I even said so in the title down below. The T'Challa / Chadwick Boseman celebration slash what's the word I'm looking for? Honoring of him. Amazingly well done, especially at the end when Shuri finally lets go of her grief and we see all the things that they shared together. And the homage goes deep because if you're like me, a guy I dive into my work and I remember certain lines and I remember things and I know stuff inside and outside of all of this stuff. Like, Sherry says he suffered in silence, and then when he needed me, I couldn't be there. That's kind of how everybody felt. Chadwick Boseman suffered in silence. As a matter of fact, when he gave, he was a speaker, and I don't know if it was at Howard, but he was a speaker at a university, and he was tearing up, he was crying. Everybody thought he was being impassioned, but you know, when he's talking about pushing through no matter what's in front of you, dude was suffering in silence. And I hope everyone should hope to have friends or a crew or people around you, like whoever was around him, because none of that stuff ever leaked. And that's great. Like, just to have that, to be able to trust people that much. Second thing, when Riri Williams says to be young, gifted, and black, he often said that, often repeated that wonderful, wonderful song. There's another line where Nakia says, you know, he was my everything. It's funny because it has been said before, Chadwick Boseman wasn't just, you know, great actor or great friend. He was our everything. I've heard that before. Now, what kills him in the opening scene is some type of ailment, some type of virus. My hunch, because Phase 4 of the MCU should be called Mutant the mutant phase. I'm going to think that this is the legacy virus. The same legacy virus that was killing various characters in, was that the 90s? I want to say the mid 90s. The thing that actually killed Colossus, even though he was the catalyst. So he was the reason why everything got cured, because of his unique physiology. When they gave him the antivirus, once he died, everything got spread into the world and everybody was well. I believe the legacy virus actually showed up in the X-Men animated series. I forget a lot of those episodes, but definitely look up the legacy virus. They are purposely not mentioning it. Excuse me. And I think that's what it is. Because Ryan Coogler is great at taking fictional, not just fictional cultures, fictional lands, and in rooting them in things that are real in our real world. Like Wakanda, it's a mixture of various African cultures, and the language is Swahili mixed with another one that I don't remember. Don't cut my head off. And then the Tolakan, literally based off of an ancient Aztec city, and all of it, just the roots and all of it's great. He's amazing. So I can see him helming, being like, all right, I'm going to say we got to wrap this all up together, right? Let's say he died from this virus that no one knows what the heck happened. And you also get to see his DNA sequence and stuff. So, I'm just saying. Now, let's talk about Namor, his origin. In this, the Tolakan people, according to Shuri, which is it's a theory that makes sense, there wasn't just one meteorite. There were several that struck the earth. And within Mexico and the Tolakan culture, one of those meteorites, they were able to grow a thing that was like the heart-shaped herb, because the Europeans, the white men, show up and various people were dying to the smallpox, so they drank this stuff to try to get stronger after they prayed to their gods. And Namor's mother, they made a bracelet that was laced with this stuff as well. And they said, since you're pregnant, you're worried about your kid with drinking this, don't worry. They deeply convinced her he's going to be our next king, which he was. He was born, and Namor even says he's a mutant. He has pointy ears and wings on his feet. People call him Kukulkan, which is based off the actual Kukulkan, the flying serpent god. But the Europeans called him Namor because when he went back to bury his mother on the land that she came from, the people were enslaved by the conquistadors. By the way, Namor he is unique and comics accurate. This is what I want, baby. This is what I love. Put it in my veins. I recognize him because a lot of people have issues that he's different, but this is an example of a character being so enrooted with their culture within the comics. Namor is 100% Atlantean in the comics, and his whole being is dealing with his people. By making him a Mexican Aztec person and having him so deeply enrooted with his people, to when seeing the conquistadors enslave basically their cousins and burning that shit to the ground, and that's how he's got his name, saying he's child without love, Namor. That's what his enemies call him. It's great. His power level. Now, if you guys have seen the things that's making the rounds, when he's out of the water, he's the strongest Thor. When he's wet and has water around him, he is as strong as the Hulk. This is very much true. The dude swung a helicopter by himself. He punched M'Baku so hard, I thought he was actually dead. Broke his armor, and M'Baku was like, oh, okay, I'm not dead. Broke his, I think it was made out of vibranium, or maybe some type of hard metal. Broke his little club. Dude dodges fire without looking. I'm going to say it now. Namor is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I'm a big fan of. I am a fan of Namor in the comics, but Namor in the MCU for sure, one of my favorites, right up there with Doc Strange, of course, Spider-Man, and Shang-Chi in our first Black Panther. Tanaka Waita, excellent job. Dude did fantastic. In my opinion, stole the show. Namor is a force to be reckoned with. He has been around hundreds of years, and people see him as a god, and you see it in everything that he is. And one of the complaints that you guys, Ryan Coogler hears you, the jokes in this movie are appropriate when they're funny moments, like Nakia and Riri both going, "Oh shit." That was genuinely a genuine reaction from them that made all of us laugh. But here's something important to realize: Namor doesn't tell a joke once in this entire movie. He's serious. He's intimidating. He tells the queen, "You all make a move. I will. You tell the world about my people. I'll kill your daughter, and then I'll come back and I'll kill you." He is threatening. He's intimidating. A matter of fact, Shuri had to act. The way Shuri had to beat him is the same way that T'Challa from the comics would have to beat a character like this. You got to set up a trap. They realize, oh, he breathes in air through the water when he's down there. Okay, because the Tulakan people have gills, right? And I know why they did this. They did this like this because DC already did Atlantis. You're going to be copying them, and I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they took this route. This was amazing. So let's talk about Shuri. When she became the Black Panther, I just wasn't feeling it. And not because, oh, it's a girl. No, she becomes Black Panther in the comics. And actually, her Black Panther look is the Panther suit. But you know how M'Baku has that fur? She has the fur-laden cape, and it usually has a panther with her and has a short spear. I wish she had that. But she's so skinny and so lithe. She looks more like Black Leopard, which is an alternate costume, an alternate ego of T'Challa in the comics. Actually, I don't know if it's from an alternate universe, but I know he was Black Leopard at one point, and she definitely looks like Black Leopard. And when she takes the herb, who do you see in Ancestral Land? She saw she saw Killmonger himself, because he said, "Why'd you take?" And she keeps saying, "To protect your people." No. Funny thing is, she says, your mom. He said, put respect on your mother's name, first of all, because she risked her life to save that girl. Yeah, I haven't gotten the queen yet, but she dies. If you haven't seen this movie, stop watching this. Watch the movie and then come back and watch this. Bookmark this. 12:45, right? But it says, put some respect on her name. Your father would have killed the girl. Your brother's too noble. But what about you? See, I didn't do this for power. I did it because I wanted revenge. And he's right. And here's the thing. Killmonger, he has points. Bad thing is, he's a villain. Like, you recognize, bruh, I get what you're saying, but man, you're going about it the wrong way. Sure, he's so consumed with grief and rage that even when M'Baku initially wanted to kill the fish man, but after, some thought, he's like, his people view him as a god. All you're going to do is just make them continuously go to war with us, and we're going to lose more people. Because when they rescue Shuri, Nakia killed 2 of their own, so Namor was justified in flooding the capital and said, you got a week to decide whether you're going to be with me or not. Because Namor's motivation is, dude's hundreds of years old. He saw what the rest of the world does. Matter of fact, we see throughout this entire movie, which is one of the points I have in my notes, the world just wants to take stuff from Wakanda. As a matter of fact, when the offshore mining people find vibranium outside of Wakanda, they instantly say it's the Wakandas attacking. Oh no, it's blue people. And the whole entire time, everyone's assuming that the Wakandans are doing this because, hey, the Wakandans called the French Secret Service people trying to break into one of their facilities to steal the vibranium. And guess what? Dora Milaje was already waiting, kicked all their asses. Oh, and it's wonderful. One of the things, person I saw this with, they brought up a really excellent point. Seeing black people speak different languages is great. You don't see it in a lot of movies. Seeing Okoye speak French to the French bitch. Seeing Nakia speak Spanish, which Lupita Nyong'o, she's very fluent. just seeing them be able to, then them learning the ancient language of the Tulakans. I love it. Love it all. This new AI, by the way, she has an AI. She has her own Jarvis. And when the Queen's like, it's going to take over us all, just, Shuri, seriously? This is just in the movie? So we're going to ignore the fact that Tony Stark and Bruce Banner made Ultron. And Ultron was an AI that tried to kill everybody. Did you forget the Sokovian Accords already? Like, yeah, and She-Hulk, I believe the Sokovian Accords were nullified. They're done. No more Sokovian Accords ever. But did you forget about that whole thing? So, theory, because I'm starting to I'm almost batting 1,000 with some of my theories. Ultron's gonna come back. And oh boy, I hope he comes back in Secret Avengers? No, Secret Wars. Ooh, if Shuri fucked up and made the new Ultron. Oh my goodness, if she gave that AI to Riri and Riri's like, I need something strong. Oh, I hope we get another Ultron movie. Ooh, Ultron was so underutilized. Him and Gore. Two villains that I feel like were underutilized and should have got more time. But let's talk about Queen Ramonda. Rest in power, Queen. I did not see this coming. Her death was so surprising. And it's interesting because Namor throws the spear. It doesn't break. It cracks the window. And they have these water bombs that just super high impact, high concussion rate. And throws it, floods the throne room. And she drowns, saving Riri. Didn't think they would do it. And they did it. She does come back later on when Shuri is about to, kill Namor because Shuri's on this revenge kick. Again, I do not like Shuri as Black Panther. I just wasn't feeling it. She says, "Show him who you really are." And they make a pact. The pact is, your people will be protected by us. We would not reveal anything. Just yield. And he yields. There you go. It's cool. It's done. I already mentioned Wakanda, the world, and Tola Khan. The world is coming after Wakanda. Queen Ramonda said, yeah, you guys think, oh, their king is dead. There is no Black Panther. We don't get a Black Panther until the third act of this movie. There's no Black Panther. You think we're weak? No. While we are mourning, yes, we're not weak. But I tell you this, consider this us being gracious. You come again, we might not be as gracious. Yeah. And matter of fact, Val Fontaine, that bitch, she's in this movie. Apparently, she is the ex-wife of Everett Ross, Martin Freeman. Wowzers. She apparently bugged Shuri's beads after the bridge fight. And they know he's been in contact with the Condons. And unfortunately, Queen Ramonda is dead. And everyone thinks it's civil war. Of course, he gets arrested, but he gets saved by Okoye, who is now the Midnight Angel, which is actually Midnight Angels. It's actually a thing in 2010. They were the covert ops group of the Dora Milaje that T'Challa sent to go with Deadpool on a mission to kill Dr. Doom. Now you know. But she's not just single Midnight Angel. She's that with the other young lady who has the daggers. Okoye, let's talk about, what is the word I'm looking for? Let's talk about, not receipts, but paying for your actions, repercussions. Because when Shuri is taken, the Queen says you are going to be stripped of being a general. You no longer have a rank. And the Queen is called Queen Mother. Right? Everyone loves this woman deeply because Okoye, even though she was stripped of her rank, she tried her best to resuscitate this woman. And it is amazing. And she gives that same speech that we all heard in the trailer, but it's more drawn out because Okoye's like, I've given everything. Please don't do this. And she's like, I lost my husband. I lost my son. My only family was taken under your watch after I said, do not take her. She shouldn't go. I have given everything. And you want to talk to me about loss. And then she tells her to stand. She graciously leaves and bows out. But the Queen also mentions that You stood with Killmonger when he usurped the throne, and I had to go to the Jabari to beg for help. No, I'm done with all this. She literally says, I am done. I love that there are still repercussions from those actions. Like, it's you don't get many movies, sequels no less, that remember. Yeah, in these MCU movies, it's like, oh, Peter's sad because Iron Man's dead, because there's his connection with, his mentor. There's the connection and all that other stuff. But this is a direct sequel that is saying, we did not forget that stuff that happened. All of that is still very fresh in our minds, regardless of half the world being snapped out of existence, regardless of now, it's been a year since T'Challa has died. No. And I love it. Apparently, the Dora Milaje woman that has the daggers, the woman who's now the new general, she was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's now the general. I don't know her name. She's now the head general. And her and Dagger Lady, they're actually a couple. Good job showing LGBTQ plus black representation without it. It was so natural. You would have blanked and missed. And I'm like, oh, I like it. That's sweet. Everett Ross, by the way, he's a big ally. Shuri saved his life, and he's like, you know what? I owe her my life. I'm always going to help. Period. Okoye got him out. You thought Shuri was going to get him out, but she did her grieving thing at the end of the movie. I can't wait to get to that part. But Riri Williams made so I was debating that you could have just made the plot point of this scientist that build a thing to detect vibranium. You could have made that any character, but then I argue, and I understand, this is a good way of bringing her in. This movie ain't about you, but now we've established that this girl from Chicago, Chi-Town, stand up, she is brilliant enough to take junk and make something because her teacher says she couldn't. She hustles people to do their homework and stuff. She's brilliant. She's making Stark Tech. She's rebuilt the whole 67 Mustang. She's amazing. This movie ain't about her, and it's about protecting her. She's 19. So it makes sense on why the Wakandans will be like, all right, we cannot give her to the Tolakans. Nah, we can't do that. They're going to protect their own. I can't wait to see what she does in the Armor Wars movie now. Can't wait, because now you have Black Iron Man, War Machine, Rhodey, with Black Lady Iron Man. I'm being facetious. They're both great characters. Ironheart and War Machine. I love me some War Machine. Cannot wait to see what happens with that. By the way, her first suit looks very much like her MK1 suit from the comics. Her second suit, it does look very Power Rangers-y. But you know what? I'm okay with that, because I know in the future we're going to get something much better. Namor and Atuma. I was waiting for Atuma to become more evil, but he wasn't. Thought Namor died, but she didn't, and Namor was able to, say, hey, my child, she's actually his distant cousin. She's actually his cousin. Hey, I didn't kneel to them. They need us. And when the world comes for them, they're going to turn to us, which is so true. This is so true. And I have a theory that Dr. Doom might kill Kang in the Kang movie, the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie. But I also have the theory that when Doom shows up, Doom was in the cabal with Namor. Doom's going to go to Wakanda and say, hey, you guys should join up with me. By the way, my country does magic, and we have vibranium as well. Oh, what's that? You want the Tolakans to go against you? I already talked to Namor, actually. So, yeah, what are you going to do? I cannot wait. That's my second prediction. I can't wait. I hope that actually happens. Atuma did not turn evil, but his rivalry with Okoye, I'm not going to lie to y'all. When he slammed her against the spear and dislocated her shoulder and fucked her all up, I laughed. I was like, that's kind of funny. It is. It was funny. I enjoyed that fight. Really good fight between them. Still kind of confused on how she fully killed 3 people and they all got up. They never touched on that. Like, are they just hyper healing? They never touched on that. They also never touched on how they were able to use sonic weapons to make people jump to their deaths in the water. So that's two things that they never touched on. That's kind of a plot hole, but all is forgiven because the rest of this movie is freaking fantastic. Now let's talk about Nakia in this thing here. By the way, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. There's an after credit scene. There is I'm sorry, there's a mid-credit scene. There is no after-credit scene. Again, you've been warned again. Nakia I predicted this a while back. I don't remember if I said it on camera. I should have said it on camera about how they're gonna bring back another Black Panther again. I was wrong that it was gonna be two Black Panthers in this movie. I thought it was gonna be M'Baku and Shuri. It was mostly just Shuri, where it is just Shuri, who also made synthetic hard herb, but we'll get to that in a second. T'Challa had a son. And it is, the seeds were planted throughout the movie where Ramonda tried to tell Shuri, there's something I have to tell you about your brother. But she died and stuff happened before that. And Okoye talks to Nakia like, after Thanos had snapped and got, like, killed T'Challa the first time, you disappear. And she's like, I couldn't take it. And then when he died this time, my whole world ended. He had a secret child with her. This kid is a whole ass 6 to 8 years old. And I thought they said his name was Tassan, but that's his Haiti name. Nakia works in Haiti. His real name is T'Challa. Yes, this is T'Challa too. So in the comics, in another universe, T'Challa and Storm have a son named Azuri. But there's also another universe where there's T'Challa 2. I love T'Challa 2 because he was part of the Exiles. And he's basically his father, but more laid back. Awesome. You already know. Secret Wars are going to happen. This kid's going to be aged up. This kid's going to at least be 18, maybe 19. We're not going to have this little boy forever, just like they did with Stature. Although it took, what did that take, like 5 years? And they did the snap and fast forward everything. No, we ain't going to be looking at it. They're going to get to T'Challa quickly. And I think this is one of the reshoots because we all did our mourning and we all missed Chadwick Boseman, but then we all thought he will want the role to continue. So this is a way to have a T'Challa as Black Panther. And they synthesized the heart-shaped herb. That's a really cool thing. I wanted to mention that earlier. And they used the bracelet. Like, you had an incomplete synthesis of what you knew from, T'Challa's blood. So you took that, you took the thing that Namor gave Shuri as a peacekeeping gift, match it all up. I like how they did that, and they replanted it. So come on, T'Challa 2 is going to get that juice, and it's going to be great. So what do I give this movie? The last movie, the capping, putting the lid on phase 4, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, gets a 5 out of 5. Sure, I have trepidations about the two plot holes. The one about they got killed, but they came back, and then the Sonic stuff, whatever. And I really wasn't, when Shuri became Black Panther, I wasn't feeling it. I just didn't feel like she earned it. I will say, Killmonger being the person she saw, very anime, he's just so Vegeta-like. It kind of reminds me, it's what I wanted with Vegeta and Gohan, but I won't even get into that because this is a Marvel thing. But yeah, for sure, even the things that I have trepidations about, fantastic movie, 5 out of 5. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I'm gonna see it twice. That's how good it is. Well, please, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please, be good, be blessed. Wash them hands. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about this fantastic movie. Can't wait for Fantastic Four either. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified of more videos just like this. And as always, be good, be blessed. Be good to yourself, be good to others, out of the way it goes. Please don't be a jerk. Take care of yourselves out there. Remember, there's someone who wants to speak to you today. Instead of mourning you tomorrow, someone will listen to you. I promise. And you know what? If you don't think someone will listen to you, I'll listen to you. All right? I will listen to you. My social medias are right down there. Hit me up. As always, guys, thank you once again. And always remember, Wakanda forever.